everybody, and welcome back into Occupy Democrats on this amazing Friday. But you see, Donald Trump has never and will never learn one of the easiest cliches in life. Don't count your chickens before they hatch.
This is the day that people across the region and around the world have been working, striving.
Because in this breaking story, the fact that he does that out of his basic insecurity and need for applause, arrogance and hubris too, is the root cause of the damage he winds up causing when he counts them too soon. And I'm going to show that story to you in a few seconds.
Hoping and praying for. Nobody thought this could happen.
If you'd like to see Trump out of the White House like me, subscribe to the channel. But in this breaking story, what Trump does is he likes the facade, he likes the splash, he likes the headlines, and he counts his chickens before they hatch.
With the historic agreement we've just signed.
When it comes to foreign policy and wars, this could be a little dangerous and damaging, which he is now experiencing, as is the rest of the world.
It's a very simple expression, peace in the Middle East, and we've heard it for many years, but nobody thought it could ever get there, and now we're there.
And less than a few weeks later, this happened?
First thing I want to ask you is about this attack. Also claims from Hamas that Israel has violated the ceasefire 47 times.
Because he likes to brag about the Nobel Peace Prize and what he deserves.
Every time I end a war, they say, if President Trump ends that war, he's going to get the Nobel Prize. If I end that war. Well, he won't get it for that war, but if he ever gets it for the next war, now they're saying, if he ever ends the war with Russia and Ukraine, he's going to get the Nobel Prize. What about the other 8 wars?
At this point, how much of a risk is there that this ceasefire could fall apart?
Well, Renee, I think we're watching the ceasefire slowly fall apart or unravel.
And when it came to Cambodia and Thailand, he did the same thing, except whoopsie poop here.
Trump's ceasefire boasts flop again.
And certainly, as we all well know, the infamous promise regarding Russia and Ukraine early on, this.
I'll end that war between those 2 countries in 24 hours. It won't even take that long. I will get the war ended. I'll stop all of those lives from being wasted and lost.
And yet the truth of how Russia looks at that and how things have gone here.
Russia's UN envoy trashed Trump's 24-hour Russia-Ukraine fix as a joke, and he quietly ditched it.
Oh, and let's not forget how it's finished up. Remember when he said this?
And there'll be no more bombing of Ukraine. There'll be no more bombing of Russia.
And in this breaking story, what Donald Trump cannot seem to grasp is the fact that when you do this with countries, foreign and policy and wars, the truth is it winds up damaging everything. Check out this breaking story on the reality of Trump's hurried desire to get credit when it comes to solving wars right here. Breaking news. Peacemaker Trump can't keep his mouth shut, and it's killing his deals. Analysis. President Donald Trump has frequently boasted about ending or preventing several wars when listing off the accomplishments of his second term. But according to a new analysis from the Washington Post, his focus on creating, in quotes, flashy headlines is causing these deals to fall apart. The piece, written by Post columnist and veteran foreign correspondent Keith B. Richburg, highlighted a few notable conflicts Trump has claimed to have quelled via ceasefire agreements, including disputes between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as Thailand and Cambodia, and Israel's ongoing war in Gaza. Trump hosted a meeting between the leaders of Rwanda and the DRC, claiming, in quotes, a new year of harmony and cooperation had begun. However, as Richburg explained, the fighting raged on between the two nations, with a Rwandan militia seizing the Congolese town of Uriva just days after the summit in Washington, D.C. In October, Trump hosted a similar ceasefire signing event between the leaders of Thailand and Cambodia. But just a few months later, in early December, fighting along the border between the two nations broke out. So far, 11 Thai troops and at least 11 Cambodian civilians have been killed as the two sides trade artillery fire, with over 500,000 displaced. Trump claimed that a ceasefire had been reached after calling the prime ministers of each country, but the two leaders said that was not true. One of Trump's most heavily touted accomplishments of his second term was a peace plan aimed at ending the war in Gaza. Despite much hype, the disarmament of Hamas and the appointment of Gaza Peace Board have failed to materialize, and Hamas has continued to assert its control in the area. In quotes, the setbacks show that in the complicated business of peacemaking, signing a ceasefire deal before the cameras is usually just the beginning, Richburg wrote. In quotes, changing the realities on the ground and getting combatants to lay down their weapons requires a more sustained level of follow-through and commitment. The issues at play in these conflicts, Richburg explained, are deeply complex and steeped in decades of disputes. Fixing them requires long-term commitments to diplomacy, not Trump's favored tactic of deadlines and media-friendly ceasefire meetings. In quotes, in all of these conflicts, enmities run deep and are passed through generations, Richburg wrote. They are not easily undone by handshakes in Washington, Kuala Lumpur, or Cairo, and they defy quick and easy solutions. Trump fancies himself a peacemaker and a deal maker, but solving historically complex conflicts is not like making a real estate deal where everyone can walk away satisfied. Solving a war takes time, patient diplomacy, and follow-through. Artificial deadlines are meaningless. And the issue with this is, how do you save face over this? Look, we all make mistakes. We've all likely said things that wind up not coming true and or that fall apart. That's certainly plausible as a human in life post the age of 11. But the reality is, if you keep doing it over and over again, what is that? Definition of insanity. And when it comes to Trump's desperate desire to get the Nobel Peace Prize, he is becoming the insanity foreign policy president, along with everything else. But that's just the reality, because now no one will trust anymore that you can actually close the art of the deal when it comes to foreign policy and foreign wars. And that is simply the truth, Donald. You guys like and share the video. Stay frosty. Have a great weekend.